Hey, welcome back. Oh, wait a minute. Season's greetings, everyone. It's a very Christmas Eve Who Would Win. Oddly enough, it's the week of Who Would Win as well. So we are opening up now the week of Who Would Win with one of the monthly Who Would Wins that I do. The monthly Who Would Wins are based off a theme. The theme this time around is the Planeswalkers of the card game Magic Gathering. If you haven't played it before, little lore. It's a fantasy card game. There's a lot of story that actually is involved in the actual game itself. In the world, there are multiple, almost infinite amount of planes of existence, worlds, and individuals who can traverse through those planes are planeswalkers. They can walk between them, usually stronger than your average character. So, and oddly enough, we're on a character known as Kiora, and I believe Kiora is actually her only name. I'll double check that real quick. Is it Kiora something? Kiora. Hey, Kiora, do. Yeah, it's just Kiora. Her cards do have other names to them, like Kiora, Master of the Depths or something. Oh, Kiora. Yeah, the Crashing Wave and Master of the Depths, but no, her name's just Kiora. She is a merfolk. She's a mermaid. The mermaids or merpeople are known as merfolk in the Magic world, so she's a merfolk. But she can walk on land, go on land, and all that good stuff. And oddly enough, I didn't mean to time it this way, but her opponent I just decided would be Aquaman. He's not a merman person. I mean, technically he's a mer person. Technically he's an Atlantean, but he can breathe underwater. So I've had Aquaman a couple times on the channel, but let's go over him real quick. Aquaman, depending on which version you go with, the overall generalized concept of Aquaman is an Atlantean. He is the king of Atlantis, obviously. He is a firm and powerful warrior. Depending which version you go, he does have a hook for a hand. We're not going with that. We're going with the one with the Triton. Skilled hand-to-hand fighter. Capable of standing great pressure. Skin is adapted to withstand the pressures of the depth, which give him immense durability. Can swim at super high speeds, like easily going. I think he can outrace most boats I know. Strength-wise, he's not the strong. He's got superhuman strength, particularly while he's in the water, but he doesn't. He doesn't have degrees like Wonder Woman or Superman or the Martian Manhunter. He's on the lower end of the superhuman strength tier, but he's still got superhuman strength. Very capable superhuman strength, too. Like, don't screw with this guy kind of strength. I mean, we see in the movie, it's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, him lift an entire submarine through the water. He's also capable of communicating with sea life. At one point, he was actually not even at one point. I think when he really focuses, he can even, what's the term I'm looking for? Communicate and control non-ocean animals. He can basically go communicate with the dormant primal oceanic gene that is in all animals. Because remember, all life stems from the ocean. So, he can actually go into the dormant genes of any animal, period, and control them. And then he has, obviously, the Triton. Now, the Triton, it's gone over a couple of retcons, but the one that I'm most familiar with, I think it's the Triton beside him, gives him several of these. He's got, can create energy blast, magical blast, manipulate water to the umpteenth degree, and cut through space. Now, let's be clear. I have to always have to define what this kind of means. Cutting through space is like essentially cutting through the fabric of a dimension. So let's say you can pretty much cut anything. Nothing is safe if you focus hard enough. But Aquaman is not invincible by any stretch of the means. More powerful, powerful human or metahumans can easily take him on in a fight and win. He can't be out of the water for too long. It all depends on which version you go with, but generally speaking, he cannot be out of the water for too long. Like, he can be out for a while, but even he has to go back to the water just to kind of, get himself back into gear. Excuse me. And he's overall just powerful. You can overpower him. You can dry him out, I guess is a term. You can basically weaken him by having him out of the water for extended periods. And he's just overall a powerful character. Particularly the new 52 Aquaman is a powerful character. They really revamped him in a way that really helped. Kiora. Now, Kiora, like I said, is a merfolk. A mermaid, per se. She's female, so she would be considered a mermaid, I guess. She is primarily a oceanic kind of fighter. She can control pretty much almost any sea life there is. She continues to recruit more and more sea life to her cause. You can summon them on different planes of existence, no matter where they are. Her goal actually was to take control of a leviathan, a kraken, known as I might get the name. I'm probably gonna get the name because I don't have Arithmex. Mechas, I think that might have been its name. I could be very wrong on that. I've seen the card too. They finally made the card of it. It is a kraken. This kind of looks like a giant lobster monster, but it was so big that an entire city island was built on its back. So, well, a city, and its back is the island. Like, let's say my arm is the kraken. The entire city is lining this thing's back. That's how big this son of a bitch was. Even the thing you see in Aquaman, that giant F-off kaiju in the trailer, that wouldn't cut it against this thing. But she didn't get to control that. But she does control monsters like Lorthos the Tidemaker, who's a giant octopus, kraken, kraken, sea monster, sea serpents, you name it, they can fall under her control. She also is actually quite capable of manipulating the water itself. She caused a giant tsunami to wreck a town at one point, just to get the attention of some people. Excuse me. So she is very, very capable in how she uses her abilities. But like any planeswalker, she does need to actually charge her spells at least a little bit. She needs a little time to do it. There are some abilities that are just inherent to some planeswalkers, like Jace, who we already went over. He's inherently just a powerful telepath. He's just he can just do that. Gideon can just immediately make himself invulnerable. But other spells and abilities need time to be charged. But that wasn't the sum total of Kiora's abilities, because on the plane of Theros, which little lore lesson, Theros is based off Greek mythology, so there are gods. There are legitimate gods in that world, on that plane, and on other planes too. Like Amonkhet has gods as well, which is based off Egypt. But they have gods, and the gods cards of the gods kind of display how powerful they are. They are generally indestructible, but they can't be creatures unless they are worshipped well enough. Anyway, the sea god known as Thassa had a weapon known as a Bident. Not a trident, a Bident. And it basically helped her command the seven seas. It was her weapon of choice, could command monsters easily. Excuse me. Well, Thassa ended up stealing that from her and now has that as her weapon. So it enhances her abilities to control pretty much anything she wants sea-wise. She can't control a land creature, but ocean creatures she can control easily still with this. And command the ocean and everything like that with ease. She, however, against extremely not extremely dangerous or huge, but against superiorly powered monster beings like the Eldrazi, who are pretty much Cthulhu-esque beings. She could not handle them, and particularly two at the same 2-on-1. She couldn't handle that. So Kiora's not a physical fighter though I think she did do a little physical fighting in one story. She's not a fighter. She's, a mage. She casts spells. So let's say Kiora goes to DC Universe to again recruit some monsters and all that stuff. And let's say she runs into Aquaman, who, they command their forces. She's taking control of shit, and they come to blows. Now, this fight would at least initially take place in the water. Excuse me. And, they would charge at each other. She would throw water at him. He would block it with the trident. They'd go back and forth with that. However, Aquaman would easily outclass her in a physical environment. Or a physical fight, I should say. So these guys, so initially their fight will not go in Kiora's favor because she can't physically keep up with them. She starts to command some of the monsters in the ocean and to attack him. He uses his ability to control him to stop him initially. However, this is a big thing that's gonna not tip the fight, but cause the fight to go on longer. Is that the Kiora's ability to control monsters is magic. It's spell based. Arthur's is not. It's an innate ability. Magic can he has no resistance or abilities that override or stop magic. So while he would initially be able to control creatures, her magic can override his ability to control something. I have no doubt about that. Magic would override his abilities. If she can control something with magic, it would stop him from control. But that doesn't mean she'd be able to control everything. Let's keep that in mind. So, hey, let's say he summons that big F-off kaiju monster. I can't remember the name of it. And, it comes at her. She takes control of that thing using the Biden. And then and then throws it back at Aquaman, who's now summoning a bunch of creatures to take that thing on. They're not doing anything. It's devouring them. It's destroying them. So he eventually has no choice but to basically just take off the thing's head with his trident. Kiora comes in and clashes with Arthur again. They collide with a trident to Biden. The Biden, and they're both locked in at that point. So they're trying to force each other, but to give up their weapon. Unfortunately, Aquaman forces her out, but she still can summon control water as well. So she just pulls a Mara, kind of binds him in a water sphere, and throws him against them like a sea mountain. He drops his trident initially as well. She then uses her abilities again to grit Biden back to her. Summons summons like an army of sharks and whales and stuff like that. He again can't stop it, so he then charges through and blitzes her, basically grabs her by the neck, throws her out of the water, and then just boom! Cracks her right against the jaw and knocks her ass right out. She goes floating down. Ultimately, Kiora would lose the fight. Why does Kiora lose the fight? Well, it really comes down to the fact that while I believe she can override Arthur's ability to control creatures, she has no way to match him in a straight out fight. Like, she might even be able to handle him in a Biden to Trident contest for a little while. Ultimately, though, he is a superior hand-to-hand fighter and just has superior physical abilities. And it will eventually come down to a physical brawl at some point. There's no way she can overwhelm him with creatures when he is a master of the sea as well. And he's used to such things. So, ultimately, and Arthur's just had much longer history of dealing with individuals in this sense, of fighting Atlanteans who control these things, of fighting just longer history of fighting than Kiora has. Kiora's been fighting for a while, but Arthur wins that. He's fought wars multiple times, fought beings far above Kiora's level, and come out on top. So, yeah, ultimately, I would say, I have to say Aquaman wins. Is there a way Kiora wins? If she takes control of a monster or sea creature and it gets a lucky shot in and knocks Arthur out, sure, I could say that works. Or if she's actually able to stab Arthur, which I think the Biden, because it's magic and highly durable, could stab and hurt and maybe even kill Arthur. But I don't think there's a very strong chance of that happening. I'm going to go 95% Aquaman this fight. Is it possible Kiora could win? Yeah, it's possible. Would she? Nah, not really. I think the likelihood is very slim, like about 5% slim. But what do you ultimately think? Do you think Kiora would win the fight? Do you think Aquaman wins the fight more or less than I said? Vice versa with Kiora? Think it's closer or farther? Let me know. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And if you have ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Super Magic, whatever, anything you do on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you folks next time, which is tomorrow. I will have a video up, at least 2 videos. I'll have a review up, and I'll have a who would win up tomorrow. So, thanks for watching. Have a good one, folks, and a happy holidays and Merry Christmas.